We'll go on to public forum. On note that the first item on the public forum has now been deleted. Mr Waterhouse has postponed speaking to council. So can I invite Diane Yeldon up to talk about climate change and carbon soil sequestration. Welcome, Diane.
Thank you, Your Worship. I've prepared a written submission, so I will take as little of your time as possible. I'm here to answer questions, but Your Worship, I hope you will allow me to break the rules since we're recognising somebody's death. I think a minute's silence for the death of the little horse is perhaps in order, but you may not think so. I'm sure that everyone in Dunedin is absolutely horrified about this event. Okay, so I just want to say that I think that's something serious for the whole of the community. Okay, so just questions for my submission.
Questions, and can I say that all of us share your considerable concern that there are people or a person or people in our community that would do something like that. It is of grave concern.
Possibly children.
Glad they're not mine. Questions, councillors? Of Diane, she said, Councillor Lord.
Yeah, my question actually is to the Mayor. I'm just wondering that in Ms Yeldon's report she'd asked about joining the climate action work, and I just wondered, are we already a member of that?
I think it's a different organisation which we subscribe to, but we can certainly follow up. I would note that one or two of those organisations have merged in the last 5 years. So it may be that we're a member by
I just
default.
vaguely thought we were, but
We may well be, but we can come back on that. Yep. Further questions, councillors? It's a very comprehensive submission and no, doesn't appear to be. Thank you, Diane, and thank you for reminding us of the death of the horse. Now, can I invite Michael Lee, who wants to talk to us about George Street traffic? Welcome, Michael. That microphone is voice activated, so it should just work as you speak into it.
Hello, councillors. My name is Michael Lee. I'm a Dunedin resident, and I'd just like to talk about a few things today to do with traffic flow in Dunedin and the parking, the traffic flow and the parking, which I believe flowed relatively well for decades. Now, it's not. The pedestrians and the traffic flow, the problems I feel started with the kind of the red arrows on the pedestrian crossings. Then recently with the overly slow barn dance. I can see its merit in it, but I feel it's slowing the cars down too much, along with the loss of a lane up the main street. Even there's lots where the other lane is just not even being used, where there's like one lane only, and the side lanes are not being used, thereby hindering and slowing the traffic down to a snail's pace. Some days, I've seen it like a roadblock from the Market Reserve right along to Frederick Street. And this compiled with what I feel is ridiculously sized, unused and dangerous cycle lanes along the one-way system, which thereby is causing a hindrance to traffic flow. And I believe business too. And Dunedin's whole character has changed, I feel, in the last 6 months. And yes, you know, I think we can blame the NZTA and say it's, you know, that's their job, but I feel that this is a real problem for all of us. And there's lots of people, I feel, out there that are complaining and whinging and moaning, but they're not coming here and talking to yous about it. So, you know, I'm just, come along to sort of try and highlight these unnecessary obstacles. You know, like I said, starting with the little red arrows, and then I've noticed along Princess Street there's little holes that, like judder bars, and a lot of the cars move off into the other lane. I think they were there from years ago when there was some motorcycle drags there, but they're just not filled in. It's along from the Oval along to the Market Reserve. There's things like the Police Street Islands along where it's difficult to turn around. It's along by McIver and Beaches, and there's the Bond Street Islands. I believe they're hindering traffic flow. There's the other main intersection on Portsmouth Drive along by the Bayfield Inlet. Then there's another one too that really I feel is difficult and unnecessary. It's exiting from the Queen's Gardens around to the Chinese Gardens, where you just about have to go out to like South Dunedin again, near to the Oval, to get back round. That's my main point, but look, there's other further what I feel unnecessary judder bars in Maitland Street. Look, I know you have debated John Wilson Drive, but at length before, but that's another one. Same with the Cargill's Corner thing. There's like one lane there that people just can't even use because the arrow's on the road. And now I see that the railway station area around the farmers' market has even been proposed as a vehicle-free zone. So all these sort of what I believe is PC and overly PC and is not sort of helping Dunedin's character. Look, I run a business, and I can't even get down to St Andrews Street or North Dunedin, or the Westpac Bank, or just running my business. Let alone like my mum, 86, lots of elderly, middle-aged people. They can't just jump on a lime scooter and shoot up the road. I feel we really need some better traffic flow. Parking's nearly non-existent, especially around, the recent Murray Place and police station areas where there's a lot of work going on. The traffic flow from Dowling Street to the North End I feel is just unrealistic, for Dunedin. So I think that's about my 5 minutes.
Mr. Lee, would you be happy to take questions?
Well, I'll do my best.
Okay.
I'm not I'm sort of new to this, but
No, fine. That's all right. Councillor Wilson.
Well, thank you, and it was nice to see you at the annual plan hearings and meet you. And I understand that you've got the Southern Cross jewellery. I think that's what you told me.
Yeah, that's right.
Great. I just want to get an idea. Is it the traffic flows that have been affected in that area that concern you most, or that right through to the CBD? Because they both have different effects, and I'm just checking, is it the whole network, or as it affects your business most in Princes Street?
Well, to be quite honest, where I am is not too bad.
Okay.
But I just feel that Dunedin's character, and which flowed relatively easily for decades, 50 odd years, has got worse and worse and worse. And yes, my area will eventually go the way that I feel that further up from Dowling Street onwards, or the Exchange onwards, is going. And Dunedin was planned by the early settlers around the business district. And I've talked to lots of people that are business owners that are complaining about just being able to get up to the north end. Like I've got businesses I've got to go to, which now I can go, but I've got to go through the town belt or not go at all, and it's a real hindrance. I mean, I can understand the merits of the barn dance and some of the things you're doing, but there's still, when I can see it's just so slow to get across, and yeah, people are using it, but there's still more cars. I can't just throw my stuff on my back, and I've got to carry stuff for my business, and so do other people. We've got to use our vehicles, and we've got to find a park, outside a shop, and that's what I believe was unique about Dunedin. And yes, barn dance may work fine in Auckland or Cuba Street or wherever, but this is Dunedin's character, I believe, and it's been damaged.
Any further questions, councillors? Mr. Lee, thank you for your submission. We'll take that on board. Thank you.